Hey there, friends and enemies. JoPa here again, and today is a sad day for fans of Destiny 2 and also those hopeful for the long-term success of Marathon, as we got this article called The New Path for Bungie, written by CEO Pete Parsons, who I will talk about a little bit later because I feel like real change is needed at the top of Bungie to see the excitement for these games return, and it's not going to happen in my opinion until the developers unionize and they get rid of Pete Parsons at the top, because he is an absolute problem with this company. You can't tell me that the decision making doesn't start and end with him ultimately. Anyway, this morning I'm sharing with all you the most difficult changes we've ever had to make as a studio. So, 220 roles eliminated, representing roughly 17% of our studio's workforce. So, we just had some massive layoffs for Bungie, and now we're getting additional layoffs, despite the fact that Into the Light was very successful. Yes, it was free, but also brought a lot of people back into the game, maybe buying microtransactions and getting them hyped for the final shape, which was also a massive success by all accounts. And so, this is just poor leadership and bad planning by the people in charge over at Bungie. There's no other way around it. They have this insanely high-tech, futuristic studio, which is completely unnecessary, especially in a remote work environment that we are in 2024. They spent a lot of money on that. They overhired for a lot of these positions, thinking that they were just going to be bringing in money endlessly. They partnered with Sony, who obviously will have an idea on how much revenue they need to be generating in order to make that partnership advantageous, and they're obviously not hitting that. So these actions will affect every level of the company, including our most of our executive and senior leader roles. So I mean, I guess that's good, but not good because Pete Parsons is still around. He also went private on Twitter, which is absolutely diabolical, to borrow from the boys. It's ridiculous and something that should absolutely not be happening. Hard news out following the success we've seen with the final shape, but as we navigate the broader economic realities, the economic realities are that this has been in the works. Like there's no way that they have not looked at the way they produce content for Destiny 2 and the way they've been trying to make a bunch of different games all at once as this massive studio, and continuing to make content for the games that are in development and ongoing, and not seeing that it was unsustainable. There's no way you can tell me that. So we are deepening our integration with Sony, moving 155 people, 12%, into SIE over the next few quarters. So essentially, they're moving people from Bungie to Sony. And again, how that works, how effective that is, it's a shame to see for the developers, because they took these jobs planning to work for Bungie, and a lot of people have admired Bungie for a long time because of Halo and Destiny and all the great games that they produce over the course of history. But that being said, it is very frustrating because 200 people lost their jobs, 155 people are moving to new jobs where they might not even know their roles, like how long they're going to be in those roles, how secure those roles are as they're moving to Sony. And then they're also working with PlayStation Studios to spin out one of our incubation projects, an action game, set a brand new sci-fi universe to form a new studio. So the hope is that studio with those developers who are working in that section will be able to grow, and they can develop something good. Maybe they can add some of the people who they lost from Bungie and develop a culture and a leadership over at that studio that's going to be better. But again, that is just very, very unfortunate. So he explains why this happened. For 5 years, they've been trying to ship games in 3 enduring global franchises. 3 is weird. They only have 2 as far as I know. They have Destiny 2, they have Marathon. What's the third? So I don't know. It's very so it also forced our studio support structures to scale to a larger level than we could realistically support given our 2 primary products in development. So again, Oh, they got rid of the other one. They had the third game that was supposed to be good going on as well, but never really took off and has been canceled. Our rapid expansion ran headline in a broad economic slowdown. Obviously, that happened with everybody. Our quality missed, so they take blame for Destiny 2 Lightfall, which I think is better than people get credit for, but also does not matter because it didn't hit with the fans and people ordering, like, pre-ordering the game, buying the seasons after Lightfall as well. Um, After this new trajectory became clear, we knew we had to change our course and speed. We did everything we could to avoid today's outcome, even with exhaustive efforts. I mean, that's BS in my opinion. As a result, today we must say goodbye to incredible talent, colleagues, and friends. This is so nonsense from a CEO because after this came out, all of the ex-Bungie devs who have been gone for a while came out and essentially said this is the same nonsense they said previously. Oh, we kept the right people. Pete Parsons would play the good guy when he would be trying to show people cars and win them over. But then when it came down to it, he would make these silly decisions. And other developers have said in town halls at Bungie that they have specifically said the path they were on was unsustainable. But the people in charge, the people who are trying to maximize their wallets, were just not going to listen to that at any point, and it's just incredibly frustrating. So to put this on anything but their own missteps is incredibly foolish, in my opinion. They still have 850 team members, so it's still a sizable studio making Destiny and Marathon. But I think we're going to see some things in the future that I think is going to affect this news. So obviously, first and foremost, thoughts out to the developers who have lost their jobs. It's always a shame to see and very frustrating, as I think we've gotten some really good content lately in Into the Light and the Final Shape, as well as knowing that Marathon is on the way. I think tightening up makes a lot of sense. I think the ambition they had with the amount of content, no game can be sustained forever, no game can be played forever. Yes, it generates incredible revenue, but at some point there needs to be new, fresh things, changes in order to maximize the amount of content you can produce. But also understand that every team has its limits, and just getting bigger and bigger and bigger is not the end all be all. It's not going to solve the problems of being more refined, being more, because you can produce all the content you want, but if it's not innovative, if it's not forward thinking, if it's not good content, that doesn't matter. And I do worry about Marathon. I think that's a game they're going to invest heavily into, so I think it will be a success to some degree. But this losing all these developers is not good for the game space as a whole. Losing all these developers for Destiny and Marathon means we will probably take a hit on quality, on the amount of content we get, and all of that. And I think it's just going to lead to a cycle of negativity that's going to be a problem. I'm absolutely wanting to lead the charge and calling for Pete Parsons to step down. I think that's the first and foremost the best option for Bungie going forward. They need new leadership. They need new ideas in order to make the games we know and love and want. And that's only going to happen with a change in their CEO. Let me know what you guys think. Am I wrong in thinking that? My name is Jopa. If you want to see more Destiny 2 Marathon content, I probably will cover the games continue. I love them. I want to support the developers who are working hard on the games. But at the end of the day, I'm also very, very frustrated by this. And I wish there was more I could do to show the leadership at Bungie the mistakes that they made. Anyway, my name is Jopa. Have a good one. I'll catch you all later.